So on this channel, I've shared a lot of Batman comics that I own, and something that I am kind of lacking in is some of the key first appearances. I don't necessarily have the most impressive collection, though it is all important to me, but today in my hand I'm holding a book that might be the best book in my Batman collection, and maybe one of the best books I have in general at this point, for the key significance, for the condition of it, and for the story behind it, because it was gifted to me by a really good friend, somebody who I know in real life, who is one of the only people that I really know who cares about comics, and over the years we've kind of gone back and forth and gifted each other comics, just if we see something the other one might like. And so I was definitely not expecting something of this level, just seemingly out of the blue. No real purpose for it, just saw it and thought that I might like it for my collection, and it wasn't like a complete and total surprise, because the friend who gifted me this book is actually my husband's best friend, and so they were texting, and this friend asked my husband if I had a particular Batman book, a particular first appearance of a Batman villain. So he went ahead and asked me. He doesn't necessarily know everything I have, so he went ahead and asked me if I had it, and I said no. And then a little bit of time passed, so I wasn't sure if, this guy was serious or not, or if it was just kind of like they were chatting it up a little bit. But then, a little while back, this friend was taking a vacation, and my husband was dropping him off at the airport. And so this was in the middle of the night. I did not tag along, but I went ahead, and the next day I took the car that he had driven the friend to the airport in, and in the back seat I noticed something, and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be seeing it or not. My husband had just forgotten to give it to me. He just left it in the car, so it was fine that I went ahead and found it, but at the time I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be left as a surprise or not, so I texted him, and I'm like, I think I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. So I recently did some videos on my entire Batman comic collection, and in one of those parts I talked about my Batman 497, which is the breaking of Batman with that iconic picture of Bane on the cover. And I talked about how that was gifted to me by a friend, and that was one of the first single issues I got that kind of sparked my love for collecting, so that's always been a very important book to me. And so that same friend who gifted me that book way back then, that started it all, decided to gift me the first appearance of Bane. So this right here is Vengeance of Bane, #1. This is a first printing. Appears to be near mint. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. And he just decided to give this to me, just for no reason, just out of the goodness of his heart, because he thought I might appreciate it, and I am just extremely over the moon thankful. This is a book I did not know if I was going to get for a while, because, like I mentioned before at the beginning of the video, I don't necessarily have a whole lot of first appearance comics, and the ones I do have are kind of more obscure characters for the most part, things that kind of slide under the radar a little bit, maybe kind of Silver Age characters that I can get in lower grade for cheaper. But of course, when you get into like the 80s and 90s, there's a bit more of a standard to collecting, and when it comes to the grade of the comic, for me at least, my standards are a lot higher. So for this book being such a recent book, all things considered, in the history of comics, being a 90s comic, I definitely wanted to make sure I wasn't skimping on this, and I got it in as nice of condition as I could. And so the fact that this is such a beautiful copy, that someone went out of their way to find me such a nice copy of this, it really, it feels so nice. So the day I got this book was actually the same day I went to that comic convention recently. And of course, I wanted to make that video. I was so excited by what I was finding, but I was already having such a great day because I already had this. And of course, I did not want my excitement for this book to overshadow my excitement for the convention, so I wanted to make this own separate video just because I felt like the story behind it was worth talking about, and it just feels so nice to have such good friends out there in the community, people I know in real life, or people that I've met online. I have to thank, of course, the wonderful friend who gifted me this book, and all of you guys for checking out my videos and coming along this journey with me. As always, have a good day.